how to quit your job and double your salary. Quite the understatement when you see lots of shady. I am Joey Barker. I am consultant turned entrepreneur startup coach. The model that I'm about to show you, $3.2 million increase in revenue is my biggest failure with this model. Actually, that is the least amount of money that this model actually increases your revenue. And therefore, having shown this to a lot of corporations, major nonprofits, and basically bigger bodies that will break down the model, we actually came together and had the idea, why not teach this to startups? Because if you can build in revenue into your startup, you've basically got ahead of just about every single competitor in your set, no matter what niche. Which brings me to the first point and step one. How do you know what you're going to make? How do you know what product you're going to make? How do you know what niche you're going to target? Do you? Because if you just pick something and say, I think people are really doing such and such, and they'd really like this product that I'm going to make. One, how often is it being Googled? Who's talking about it in social? Where are their pain points? So what this entire model, and especially what we start with on number one, is going to exploit is that why Amazon exists. Essentially, there are three different ways to grow a business. Only three. There is maximize your number of customers, maximize the revenue per customer, maximize customer lifetime value. Each of these steps, particularly starting in step number one, which is the most important step, we're going to cover why that should be built into everything. So finding a product or finding a niche, this can easily be done with what's called the Google Keyword Planner. If everybody's familiar with how AdWords basically sucks you in. You go in, you say, I want to market such and such. This is my website. This is my industry. Well, what if we use that and turn it on its head? So the first step of this niche picking is essentially called growth hacking with Google Keyword Planner. What you're going to do is you're going to look for the highest trafficked, lowest competition niche you're going to find. And they're everywhere. So within just one entire massive industry, knowing what product to make becomes really, really easy when you find out what people are searching that nobody's giving them. Second step, who's going into social media and looking at what people are complaining about in this niche? So you've already found a niche. You found the one that is just getting hammered home. You know what to block because they're telling you there's no competition for it. It's high traffic. It's not getting answered. So your next step is social listening within the product niche. We're still on step one, guys. I would say probably step 1B. Well, within social listening, essentially all you really have to do is look at what people are saying within that group or within that forum or within that community and say, I really wish somebody would blank. Well, guess what blank is? It's your product. It's your product, it's your service, it's your offering. And you actually take care of step one, a lot of this becomes downhill. Step two, which it doesn't identify them, but these are traction channels. Now, essentially, what Andrew Chin, who's a startup coach in Silicon Valley, first says about channels is basically, it's called the law of shitty click-through rates. And what he says in that law is the fact that if something gets penetrated enough, over time, every single channel has a shitty click-through rate. Your click-through rate dwindles as market competition comes in, as the message becomes the same, as basically everything becomes diluted. So, whereas HubSpot, my partners, and sorry guys, you see this, whereas they would teach you to spread it across every channel, and whereas the book Traction would say dominate one channel, realistically, you kind of want to do both. Because you've already got a jump start on SEO. And SEO, believe it or not, is a channel, and it's a pretty dominant one for traffic. You're not going to get much SEO without blogging. And email, well, we'll get into that, but those three make sense 100% of the time. So where does traction channels leave us? Social media. So let's say you make wedding cakes. How much traction are you going to get selling that everywhere on LinkedIn? Tweet yourself to death. I mean, It's a visual medium, visual audience, visual niche. Pinterest becomes a traction channel for something like a wedding cake or a wedding planner. Yet go look at Pinterest right now, it's wide open. Why? I don't know yet. If anybody has any wedding ideas, I want to get on those. Back to blogging. Why blogging is such an important place? Well, it basically enables social media, enables you to send something in social media. And it's the #1 lead generation tactic ever designed in digital media. Blogging, not even close, not even up for grabs. The #1 channel for getting things into social networks is blogging and getting them shared. When you talk about lead generation, what do you mean, Joey? That's an easy question and an easier answer. I'm talking about landing pages. So what you just blogged essentially becomes a checklist, and then it becomes an infographic, and it becomes a video. It becomes a slide share. The sad thing and the sad truth about people nowadays is that people do not read. They don't read. But will they download a checklist all day long? The wedding planning checklist. Top 10 reasons to get into the wedding industry. Top 10 reasons to get into the event planning industry. Top 10 reasons to launch a nonprofit. Every single person is going to download that and have just read straight over the blog post that was handed to them for free. Well, why is lead generation so important? It's about as close as you're going to get to a conversion before revenue is shared. They just gave you their email address. You have their permission to email them every single offer you have that's relevant to that moving forward. And when you talk about landing pages, let's talk about what a landing page has and what a landing page doesn't have, which is what it's going to be basically your arsenal for lead generation. Your wedding planner checklist that was just a blog post, you put up a landing page. What a landing page does have, including what this image has. There's your logo, which will open in a new tab if they want to go back home. It has a visual element. It has a description of what they're about to download. What it doesn't have, it does not have frickin' navigation, ever. Under no circumstances did they come there to do anything but download your offer. So why would you give them 5 more reasons to say no? You capture an email address. What a landing page also has. A landing page also has a thank you page. What are you going to do with the confirmation email on the thank you page? You're going to upsell something. You're going to say, thanks, here's your free download. By the way, while we're going into that thank you page, right under that, if you're interested in this wedding planner checklist, or if you're interested in top 10 ways to play, top 10 new tricks to handle a basketball, for instance, let's go there. So you sell basketball goals. You send them top 10 tricks of 2014 for basketball handling. Basically, you just made an N1 blog post. Well, you're going to send them then to what's called a tripwire. Between the landing page and your lead gen offer and your tripwire, this is where 90% of people who've ever hired me have missed the boat. And essentially, this is where most people don't even know. Your competition doesn't even know these two exist, especially a tripwire. A tripwire basically is if you sell basketball goals, give away a free basketball with shipping and handling. So what you're doing there is you're minimizing, you're capitalizing on getting the highest number of customers you can possibly get. And how do you know they're customers? Because they give you a credit card. This is also factual. They're 16 times more likely to buy from you again if you have their credit card. Didn't make that up. Simple fact. So if you give away a free basketball with your brand on it, you sell basketball goals, and they already give you their credit card. They've already opted in with lead gen. Why is this important? Psychologically, does anybody know how long the sales cycle is in touches digitally? On average, 10 to 12. 10 to 12. So essentially, you've hit them in SEO. You've got them in social media. They've downloaded your lead generation offer. You've hit them with a thank you page, a confirmation page. You've hit them with a tripwire, and they've given you their credit card. You're almost there, guys. That's when you hit your core product offer. Now, whatever it was you were going to sell to begin with, you're 10 steps ahead of anybody selling the exact same thing because you've broken down a customer psychologically to convert at every turn willingly. You didn't reinvent anything. You just tested exactly what they were interested in, which qualified them for exactly what type of tripwire you would break your product into. It's called product splintering, if I didn't say that already. Sorry, Scott.
You skipped products for me.
I did skip product splintering. Product splintering is basically taking anything that would normally come with your product and selling it at 0% margin or even a loss. And that's basically to maximize the number of people who are going to give you their credit card. So if you're going to sell pool tables, give away pool cues. Free shipping and handling, or pool cues for $1, 10 pool cues for $1. Something that is so low margin or no margin, it's not going to hurt you. But it is going to maximize the same number of customer set, or the same number of people who will buy from you in the exact same customer set as your competitor has right in front of them, and they missed 7 times. They miss all the time. So with your core product offering, and this is where I kind of wish I could draw. Sorry, guys. How do you market your core product offering? Well, it's easy. Once somebody's already given you their email address, and once they've already gone through a tripwire, we use what's called a BLT. And it is a benefit, logic, threat email campaign. And it has, and it will, again, no matter, regardless of niche, triple your sales on the same exact product. And I'm going to show you why. Well, for one, if anybody has any questions about email, in your lead generation offer, you captured emails. What are you going to do with them if you don't email them? I'm scared they'll unsubscribe. 20 more people will subscribe. If you're blogging, if you're getting lead generation, let them go. They weren't going to buy. More people will. And if you never email them, that's way worse than saying, what if somebody unsubscribes? Because what if somebody doesn't buy? Because you didn't ask them to. It's a lot easier to email someone than it is not to. And here's the 3-step process for that. Step 1, benefit. So after they've been caught with a tripwire, your first email almost immediately is going to be, have you seen this? Or, yep, this actually works. Something around that line of subject line which gets a click to open it. Now when they open that, you're going to say, just list endless benefits of every single thing included, and I've already given you this tripwire and this lead generation, and there will be much more of that to come. Sell. If you buy, that'll get a pretty decent percent. Well, then what's step 2? Let's say they don't buy, but they open. So you had them a little closer. Logic. So your subject line is going to be, and I would not divert too much from these because I've seen over 40% of them made on these across the board. Your subject line literally follows as, really? Really? Twice. Or, call me crazy, but I'm a little surprised. And when they open this email, you're going to hit them with the same exact offer. And you're just getting a little braver. So I'm a little surprised you didn't take me up on this. List more benefits. Hit buy now. And I'm not kidding when I say 47% open rate, over 20% click-through rate on something that I sold that it was ridiculously easy, but apparently it was ridiculously hard as an e-commerce product. Sold so well as an email. It's crazy. It's actually called the SEO strategy template. It is 7 tabs of things I've given to just about everybody who bought it at some point before. Threat. Let's say they don't buy after logic. Your email comes in, it says last chance or bad news. In which case you're going to appeal to scarcity or you're going to appeal to a limited number. So if you go with bad news, someone opens that email, which will, again, get opened. You hit them with, well, I've shown you this twice. This is your last chance. I'm not going to show you this again. No. Why does this work? Because your competition does not have the guts to send these emails. They don't. It's effective because people like human. You show that I'm not going to pander to you. I'm not going to cater to you. Everything that you believe because somebody in social media says be nice is the beautiful thing about that is like Google AdWords, 99% of people are listening to that garbage. There's a 1% for a reason. If 99% of people are trying something, do you honestly believe it's working? How does the economy work? How does the market work? How does the market leadership work? They don't tell you what to do, so watch what they do. Now, revenue maximizer. I'm going to slow this one down, Scott. So what if I told you that McDonald's does not make a dime on selling hamburgers? They don't. Look up McDonald's profit margin on selling hamburgers. It's insane. Way low, if existent. McDonald's makes its money on selling Happy Meals and value meals. You buy a Coke for $1.25. You buy fries for $1.50. Best Buy doesn't make crap on selling goods electronics. It makes all its money on installation, on warranties, or selling you Geek Squad. Both easy to prove facts on revenue maximizers. And even better, revenue maximizer is why Amazon exists. So anybody who believes, well, we got them in, we sold them, game over. Let's hope they all think that. Because honestly, Walmart is still sucking wind from, you may also like, I do also like, I love, this looks awesome, they know me. They know exactly what I want. No, you told them. All the way through here. All the way from the lead generation, from the point that you got captured on something and you subscribed, all the way down to the point you bought a book or anything in Amazon. They know where you searched, what page you hit, what you downloaded, what you wanted to get for free, and where they can upsell you. It's also the reason for the existence of Amazon Prime. Membership. Someone buys, you sell membership. You sell something that's going to maximize your revenue when most people won't use it. Most people aren't going to use the $75 worth of whatever you get with or everything you get with Amazon Prime. I should probably check that. I have Amazon Prime. So I was sold on it, but you get a lot of benefits. Do you really buy $75 worth of stuff? Most people don't on Amazon within a year. And the people that do, great. Their margins were already fantastic and getting even better on one-to-one products. So after your revenue maximizer is sold, you make a return path. So how are you going to get them back? You're not done. We're still increasing the customer lifetime value. You've got revenue per customer covered. You've got the maximum number of customers nailed. Get them back. Increase customer lifetime value. Social shares, easy win. Referral programs, easier win. Referral and affiliate programs, loyalty programs. And as much as I hate banners, retargeting will actually work, guys, after somebody buys. It actually does work. Email workflows, right back to the BLT. Got something else to sell them. They opt into another lead gen offer. You come right back. You sell them the same exact thing that's right. If they've already told you piques their interest, sell it again. Same tactic. Well, three tactics actually. Same strategy. So now that you've walked through the intro to this, where is this all targeted? Buyer personas, right? Does anybody know what a buyer persona is? Buyer persona, you paint a picture of what your customer is, what they do, what they like, how old they are, what their income is, what their objections are to their current situation, what they aspire to be in their future situation. And you don't want to focus on them at all. Second thing, partners HubSpot will not want me to tell you.
Yeah.
Somewhere They're already listening to somebody. It's called an influencer. That persona, 100 to 1,000 times more lucrative. So you start all over. Who are you going to target this to? Let's say you're in weddings. Wedding Wire is an influencer. Events, Event Wire, influencer. You're in sports, ESPN. But even further down to ESPN, you have sports bloggers, basketball bloggers, NBA bloggers, college basketball bloggers. That person already, we'll say it's influencer Mary. Mary already has 100 gyms listening to her. But who's listening to Jim? Jim's the expert to 100 people just like him. You sell one influencer, you sold 1,000 people instead of one. So focusing on a buyer or persona versus an influencer, I guess you could see is why HubSpot or anyone in technology would tell you to focus on a buyer persona, because they don't want you to focus on what they're focusing on. Basically, in the game of digital economics, there has to be a loser. And it's typically the person who follows every single thing they want you to. If you believe in SEO, you're a big fan of how the Google algorithm works, keep listening to Google. Why would Google tell you how to beat their algorithm and not pay for AdWords? Why? They're not. They're not going to tell you anything that's not already rudimentary. Something you can find on a top 10 checklist that was written 5-10 years ago. So you go through and you have an influencer. The influencer catches the lead gen offer. Go on the thank you page, you ask the influencer to share it. How many more people is an influencer going to hit when they share something versus when a regular buyer would? So your subject matter expert shares this one time. You got one sale, you have 1,000, 10,000, 20,000. Tripwire, they're sharing something that once they hit a lead generation offer, they're going to share with people just like them. They're going to take them to a tripwire where people who buy just like them off the same reasons to buy, they would buy, which gives you a core product, and you'll already know how to tweak a BLT campaign to what made them buy one time when they send 1,000 more people just like them there. Revenue maximizer, this is basically a matter of business agility. So what's going to work? Is a course going to work? Is a membership going to work? Is a loyalty program going to work? This is just a matter of test, and it's open game. But what the influencer converts on, you sure as hell better pay attention, because they're bringing in people just like them. Now, how do you broaden your business into new segments? Easy. Wedding Wire has Event Wire. Companies that own one thing own another, and you can stretch it into similar markets. And that's the only time you should change this. Aside from that, this engine is moving itself, everybody. Once you've hit one social influencer, it moves itself. When it stops converting, or the law of shitty clickers, when it stops converting, that's the only time you need to change something. And therefore, you have revenue built into a startup, just because you listened to the people that you're building it for. That being said, Q&A on any part of these? Any questions?
Revenue maximizer, obviously you could change it up but what Oracle reacts to what type of revenue maximizer? It's not laid out that way. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out.
It's a matter of testing. So essentially,
Testing the offer.
Testing the offer of the revenue maximizer. So what you're going to ask for. But essentially, the easiest way to do that is membership. There's always a good place to start. Services. Membership and services. Revenue maximizer, an easy one to give you would be going back to Best Buy. You're selling electronics? No. You're selling warranties. You're selling installations, custom installation. Yeah, you're selling that you might also like. You're selling somebody buying into an entire niche of books versus just buying a book. And you repeat that 100-fold across product lines, and that's how Amazon was built. I've actually been interviewed at Walmart before for Walmart.com, and in their lobby it says you can't have Amazon. So lesson learned.
And when you send a threat letter that says this is your last chance, is it actually? Do you stop writing?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay.
It's their last chance this week, maybe,
Okay.
to get it at this price.
Are they able to unsubscribe though?
They'll come back. If they want to buy anything like it, they'll come back. Because you're going to win in Google just off what they told you to write. So they're going to search something else that they commonly search. And it's proven that they search thanks to Google Keyword Planner. And I have articles I can follow up and send on this. I've already written each single steps, basically how to practice it. But this is also available as a 10-part course, in which case I'll show you how to do every single one of them. Does that cover you on revenue maximum?
What about, say you've mentioned the two weakest spots with most online sales are the lead generation offer and the tripwire? Because those are the weakest spots, could you like expand on those and kind of share how we can make them stronger?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we've covered the landing page. So the landing page, the thank you page. And if your landing page, if you don't know what a landing page is, it is literally not what Google calls a landing page. That is a website page. That is not a landing page by definition of anybody who's went to any school of conversion. A landing page has one objective. That's it. You land, you convert. We thank you. We upsell you. But on that page, one goal, convert. So no navigation, no reasons for them to say no, or as one of my friends at FedEx called it, ooh pretties. Don't give anybody an ooh pretty. Get them to convert. You got up here about us. Why would they want to read about us when they're trying to download a checklist or an infographic? Well, I want to know who this is about. No, they came there to do one thing. Help them do that one thing. So once you've gotten to that point, your safest spot to plan in the why wouldn't I get that tripwire is on the thank you page. So after you have your landing page so they convert, here's my email, download now. Okay, here's your link to download. By the way, have you seen this? In which case, yes, guys, BLT works here too. BLT works great for tripwires. Regardless, on your thank you page and on your confirmation email, thanks for downloading said thing that you didn't read in the blog or look at on SlideShare or find readily available to you elsewhere. Here's your link to download. And if you actually want to practice this when you leave, go to HubSpot.com, download anything that they ask you to download. They'll already say thanks for downloading before you download. They will. Their follow-up email will say the same exact thing because they're not letting you download yet. They're not done. They'll give you a link to download it, which is going to be a small link. Well, another great method for tripwire is the video sales letter. So when they click to download their product, actually you can make it big. This is another tactic that works, and on the West Coast is paying dividends to anybody selling any piece of junk they can possibly sell. And they're doing it not because they're spammy or they're intrusive, they're doing it because it works. Have you ever had the video that reads you PowerPoint slides? The guy is reading you the slides and it's aggravating. There's not even a download now button under the video until the video is over. But that's because it works. It is a revenue multiplier, both at this phase and at this phase. So I'm glad you let me elaborate on that. The best way to apply that, by the way, is a buy now button at the end of the video and a small link that says, no thanks, I'll download my free thing. So tripwires, again, really, really easy for most things you're going to sell. You have a big product. You have your one big product, regardless of what that is. You sell, again, pool tables, pool cues. Basketball goals, basketballs. Something that they're going to take and be like, why wouldn't I take this free thing? I'll pay shipping and handling. That is the next level that most people miss after lead generation that just skyrockets revenue. It skyrockets your number of customers total. The number of customers you can take to the next level, because if you download something that says, here's your wedding checklist, by the way, would you like to buy a $4,000 portfolio of wedding stuff? No? Okay, I didn't think so. I mean, you've prepped them none. None. And I mean, this is something that you don't have to be digitally technical would be the term, to apply this. This is something that can be applied from everything from a small business to a corporation, and it has. It has. I did this for a local tent company as marketing director, and I don't know a thing about tents. I still don't. Doubled their local revenue, almost doubled their national revenue. I got there in May.
This is it.
That was the first time I got to apply all steps without having impediments from a political standpoint. So, any other questions? I know I flew through.
Yeah, you want to talk about traffic not being the problem?
So between here and here, and this is one of the biggest mistakes made as far as these two steps being so important, is the belief that traffic is your problem. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has a traffic problem. If I told you every website page you landed on could net you $100, would you still have a traffic problem? No, you wouldn't. No, you gather up as many ways, paid or free, or earned, to get traffic to that web page as you possibly could. These are that web page. 2 pages that essentially can multiply your revenue. Well, we multiply it here with your hamburger. Hamburger needs fries. And a Coke. And a McDonald's member's card, of course. So I wouldn't need that. Best Buy, your TV needs installation. You gotta have a warranty. You gotta have a $300 warranty on your $700 TV that we bought that we're selling to you at cost, because we know that most people are going to get the warranty because they're terrified of breaking their TV, when most people don't cash in on it. Or installation, that's convenient, right? That comes at a 100% margin. Or Geek Squad, helpful.
Where does that fit in? That's not the core product. The core product is, okay. The
The work
maximizer
gets
is
done here.
after.
The work gets done here, from lead gen offer to tripwire.
Okay. By
Then you sell your core
concept.
product. No core product should come without a revenue maximizer. Amazon Prime. You may also like. There is nothing that should come without a revenue maximizer, ever. And no revenue maximizer should come without a return path. Whether they say yes or no here, you need a return path. You need to get them right back in, and you need them to share it. You need to bring in people just like them, people that they influence. These aren't your buyer personas. You can make 1,000 buyer personas. You can make 1 influencer persona. It's up to you how much time you have in your hands. But essentially, by giving a return path to someone who's an influencer, you have given a return path to 1,000 people you haven't met before that will buy the same exact thing, the same exact way, with the same exact tools.
Would an example of that be ads that will say things like, use this code right now and you get 20% off?
Exactly. That would be an example of a lead gen offer.
Oh.
It could actually be both, depending on if you retarget. you retargeted somebody and said, use this code now, we have one return path that basically had some Unfunnel buyers tearing hair out, which was get membership for $1 in every single template in the store when they had bought the entire store. And they converted. They converted because they know there's going to be more products. So who were the people who converted the membership thus far? The people who bought half the store or all of the store. So it's a return path and it's a lead gen offer, depending on who you're saying it to. Does that help?
Yeah.
More about this VSL,
I guess so.
why it's so popular in the web.
Good.
What is a revenue maximizer exactly?
A revenue maximizer is, well, what would you say if I told you McDonald's makes $0 on selling hamburgers?
Well, obviously, it's not true
It is true. They have no margin on the hamburger.
in terms of margin.
Margin, profit margin, no margin. They sell you Happy Meals.
Okay.
They sell you value meals. They make tons on fries and Cokes. A lot. Fountain drinks, easy margin. 10
But can
cents.
you say the same if we're talking, if I just go inside of a location and purchase a quarter pounder and not happy? So are you still saying?
I'm saying they might make 10 cents.
So they still made a,
I wouldn't even say they made that. There's a lot of proof on the fact that they didn't make anything. That's covered in a lot of blogs. Here's another example, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. How much money did they make on selling your PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4?
I never bought one.
They lost money.
They lost one.
They lose money when they sell it. But are you just going to get a PlayStation? What are you going to do with it? A lot of games out there, though. Huh? Yeah,
Games
they
that
don't cost
only be
anything.
played on the
They sell for
PlayStation 4.
$60 a pop, they don't cost anything.
In the olden days, we call them lost.
It is a loss leader. A tripwire is basically a loss leader in that
Sell
sense.
service products and nothing. You people in the world also.
Best Buy. How much do you think they make on electronics?
Just domestically. I mean, I like to think, so, you know, he's asking these questions for a reason. I'll put this, say conversation now at 0.
Okay. Even if they make 10 cents on it, or $1, let's say they sell that at cost. What do you think most of their money's made on?
That's why. Let's try cell phone subscriptions when people go to or through them versus going through Sprint or AT&T.
That's one.
Okay.
It's a little bit behind on installation.
Right.
Warranty. They don't cost anything to do warranty. Right. Geek Squad. Didn't cost anything.
How about direct?
Direct. I mean, there's a lot of ways they make money. It is not selling the TV.
Right.
They make their money after you buy the TV. I mean, they might very well make money, like 50 cents. But they're competing with Amazon, so they're naturally not going. And you're in the presence of the store. Then that's why they don't care. They'll drop their price if you find it cheaper somewhere else. Because they never had any intention of making all of their money on you buying that TV.
Right. Gotcha.
Amazon, you may also like how Amazon exists, basically, how Amazon Prime exists. Amazon Prime's a revenue maximizer. Right. You buy something one time, like, well, you could have got this a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
If you had probably had Amazon Prime.
And I see how they're doing the same thing with just the Fire line alone. You know, just with the Amazon Kindle Fire. Because now you got Fire TV stick, right? You got this. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Hopefully they won't fail like the other two that have Amazon TV.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's game for that one.
Could you go over the first part again? I understand define the product and niche and fit and all that. But then you have this whole list of things,
Traction channels.
traction channels. Go over that again, please.
So there's a book written by the guy who founded, what's DuckDuckGo's name? The guy who wrote Traction. This book would actually have you believe that you go after one channel and you penetrate that channel so heavily because everybody is going after spreading it thin. which is a HubSpot approach. Or excuse me, it's what HubSpot tells you to have as an approach. Or any other tech company or automation company will tell you, just spread it across all channels. That's great. So
Gabriel Weinberg.
what this is finding something relevant to your audience, where your audience is. So you'll always have a Google plus a YouTube, a blog, and SEO that I'm going to tell you, yes, at least be there. Google owns them, and they don't. Yeah, it's not a free country when it comes to what Google will rank ahead of something else. And Google's a mean high school girl. They're not in the business of ranking, or they're not in the business of making websites popular. They're in the business of ranking popular websites. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a social channel, or maybe even email, or AdWords, or Facebook ads. You're going to find something that is so heavily penetrated, but no competition. And you're going to pound exactly what your offers are, your blog posts are, what your everything is, into just that channel and other channels where they exist. If you're selling wedding photography, you can post on LinkedIn your blue in the face. It's not gonna help you. How many brides are sitting on LinkedIn right now? I can't wait to see what so-and-so posted. None, if there's any. I'd be very surprised. Pinterest, fire brigade. How many people are posting stuff on there? Not enough. I can rank something on Pinterest that easily. Post 100 things on Pinterest. Post 200 things on Pinterest because you know it's working. Facebook, you click an image. Where's it go? To the image. Pinterest, you click an image. Where's it go? To a checkout page. If you were smart, you posted a product. There's niche social, and then there's broad social. I'm not telling you to spread it to, I'm not telling you to not post your blog post to Facebook, but I'm telling you to post it 10 different ways to Pinterest if you do post it to Facebook. In that case, in that scenario. You have B2B tech, you flip exactly what I just said on its head. So no one's going to watch your software model on Pinterest. Oh, that looks cool. Like, no, it's not going to happen. Do you have a better shot of traction in Google Plus and LinkedIn? Oh, yeah. Reddit? Sure. Go for it. So that's what a traction channel is. A channel, it is exactly that. It's a channel where your startup gains traction. Dropbox with video. I could think of 100 examples of traction channels. If you look at a lot of the fast-growing startups, they picked one and dominated the channel. So if you blog a lot and you teach courses and you're a thought leader on something, yeah, go to Twitter. Pound it in. Is it a great hashtag? Underserved? Post 10 times on Twitter when your competition's posting one. People are looking for stuff like that there. Post news. You got a news outlet? Awesome. Twitter needs 100 more of them. What's working there is news.
If you want to utilize blogs, would you say that WordPress?
I don't recommend you even have a site without using a blog.
So WordPress is probably the best tool to use.
I'm partial, but yeah.
Okay. Why are you partial?
Well, it's free, for one. And two, it connects. Two, it connects. If you're teaching this on this model of a startup, then of course you're going to recommend a thing it's free. Two, it's 65% of the internet. Three, 95% of that 65% has no idea how to leverage it. And four, Google bought a blogging tool and can't outrank it. Google owns Blogger, people who didn't know that. And for people who don't know what Blogger is, it used to be a blogging platform that competed with WordPress, and Google bought it and got dominated. It also enables every single SEO trick you'll ever learn in the book can be done in WordPress and can be done for free.
So how deep would you go if you did the whole 10 class series
How deep would I go?
around this? Yeah.
Oh, every step. I'll show you every step. And then some. Why startup means legal? Why revenue matters to a startup?
Could we try an actual product?
Mm-hmm. I think we can. I think we may have already. We might have a jump start on that.
I'm sure this is just as effective for nonprofits.
Yes, it is, because it's already worked for nonprofits.
Now, I apologize for being late. Speaking of my nonprofit, I'm going to be earning my personal training certification to train pregnant mothers. So yeah, I just came from training and I had to help at the first Congo volunteer, man about him, right? So, so I do apologize for my tardiness, but yes, I run First Year Foundation Incorporated, and I understand how everything that you covered prior to coming and now, is just as essential for nonprofits because I think so many leadership groups of nonprofits, one, they don't physically operate like for-profits, and two, they don't consider.
A conversion is a conversion, though. A conversion is a conversion.
Right.
So much of this model was tweaked and basically made better. We pivoted on a lot of this model. Hired me as a consultant now, Zach.
Really?
Yeah. So this was built. As far as its tweaks, its versions, perfected thus at a nonprofit.
Okay.
So that's actually where I needed to find out if it would work.
Right.
Did great with retail. Then did great with small business. Then did great with automotive. It's done great with services industry. Really did great with nonprofit. Matter of fact, some of the most money I've seen made in a week on this model was with St. Jude.
Yeah, okay.
Done at revenue.
Kind of helps out that name. That hurt.
Thank you. Anybody else?
You were when you're talking about email, you're really focused on the follow-up email workflow. You want to kind of talk about how the traction channel of email differs?
How much time?
Yeah.
You can talk.
It's like another.
Nobody's leaving, so.
Well, yeah. So a lot of what people do, a lot of people don't do. If you subscribe, if they subscribe to your blog, or people ultimately you get their email address. A lot of what I see people not doing is indoctrinating, which basically says, "Hi, thanks for subscribing to my blog. Here, 100 resources to get you to click again and come right back. Here you can find this. Here's some free resources. Now, basically, we'll turn you from a subscriber into a lead, into a buyer." That's one email, by the way, guys. Don't click. Number two, what I don't see people doing is segmenting. So I don't see a lot of people going in and asking someone what they're interested in. Like, how can we further help you? Or even say, as much as I hate them, a survey is even more effective than doing nothing. And saying, what would you like to find out more about? Because you're just helping, they're just qualifying, telling you what lead generation piece to build at that point. Of course, after someone has segmented himself, the big broad scope of what I pounded into the ground tonight is the fact that I don't see anybody converting at all. I don't see anybody going after a conversion. So the last thing you want to send is a newsletter, which does none of those. I mean, let me know when you find an industry where they work. But unless you're the Onion, don't send a freaking newsletter. Another piece would be engagement. I gotta remember what engagement and win back. Engagement, I have notes on all of these, and I actually have blog posts on them as well. To the point of a lot of people have bought these from me and didn't read the blog posts when they were free. An engagement piece essentially lets somebody either qualify themselves further, interact with something, or you just get another step into the 10 to 12. But basically, the 10 to 12 in the sales cycle is how many touches you need on average to sell somebody something. Win back. Somebody stops opening freaking emails, but they don't unsubscribe. Well, have you ever sent an email to someone that says, knock, knock? Hello? This is my last email to you. That'll get them opening emails pretty quick, or unsubscribe, one or the other. In which case, if they're never opening your emails, you don't want them to subscribe. The only person who cares about that is somebody who bragged about their email list, in which case they're not making money. Well, we have 15,000 subscribers. We do have 15,000 subscribers, but if we never sold any of them anything, who cares? We have 3,000 hard hitters and 12,000 clicks with Unfunnel. They're both targeted separately, and when somebody unsubscribes, you can go for a resubscribe. That's actually not against the rules. To ask somebody to resubscribe.
I like the ones that make it funny. Humor.
The knock knock.
Funny is harder. You can miss.
I've got one from HubSpot, which of course is a partner with Unfunnel. But prior to that, I was extremely well at marketing HubSpot as a person who knew a lot about HubSpot, but had never bought HubSpot. I downloaded 30-day free trials with more email addresses than you could imagine. And I got an email from them that said, here's another free trial. Because I hadn't been opening any of their blog posts. I opened it, clicked it. It's a brilliant email. That's a win back. I'm now a partner with them, so I'd say it's a heck of a win back. So, as far as just emails that are indoctrinating you into the process of basically getting someone more familiar with you, people might not want to read your blog. They might not want to come to your site. And email, if I didn't mention this already, I'll say it one time and I'll say it 100. Email has not been beaten by another digital channel for last touch revenue. Not yet. And it won't.
For last touch.
Yeah, last touch. Basic email has not been beaten at revenue. Let me rephrase that. Period. No matter what you sell. If you're not emailing anybody asking for donors, asking for members, asking someone to buy, you're not going to sell. Period. It's just the sad truth of it. Unless you're Amazon, guess what? They email a lot, guys. So obviously they're not above it. And their store is probably a little bigger than yours. So, other questions?
Wrap it up. If you want to just tell us why you signed up for the 10 class series and what we can look forward to other than
You can see signing up is completely on whoever wants to. I'm going to show it each and every step and how to do it. We can do it with a product. It's entirely up to you. But you're going to need one step to know the second. You're going to need the second to know the third. If you don't know how to do it, for those who are tech savvy enough to know exactly what I just said and how to implement it, I'm not selling you on anything. Go. Take off. Make the world a smarter place. For those who want to see how to do it, that's where I would say grab courses. I would say codes at course 1. If you don't like it, leave. If you don't want course 2, course 2 exists mainly because, okay, here's what we did in course 1. Didn't show up? Sorry, sign up for course 1 because I'm not going back. I'm going to cover each and every step so you know how to perfect it, how to use it, how to leverage it. And if you share it with other people, I'm going to pay you to come. $50% revenue share. For people who just came.
Thank you, Joey. And thank you all for coming out to